All right, welcome back. Welcome to Island Rhythm and Hustle. We're gonna break down some news that I just found out today. Kelsey Plum has been released and was traded to Phoenix. Just look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Okay, WNBA news breaking: Kelsey Plum to Phoenix. So that's it's big news for me. Like wow. So Kelsey Plum to Phoenix Mercury, man, just they just went all in. But here's the question, though. Nobody's asking that. Did Phoenix just make themselves a serious threat and in the playoff race? Plum joins Alyssa Thomas, Dewana Bonner, Kahleah Copper, and suddenly Phoenix has one of the most dangerous veteran cores in the WNBA. But can they climb from outside the playoff picture and actually go win it all? What do you guys think? One important caveat, though: Plum's addition does not automatically make Phoenix a better team, in my opinion. Teams have a significant standings advantage right now, but if Phoenix catches fire, this trade could dramatically change the Western Conference playoff race. Kelsey going to Mercury, maybe the Sparks may have actually won this trade. Phoenix just bet a 2027 first round pick on a player who could potentially walk after this season. So did the Mercury just make a brilliant championship push, or did they panic because their playoff window was closing? Maybe. My take: I like the trade for Phoenix more than I like it for Los Angeles, but I'm not sure I love the timing for the Mercury though. If they're trying to push for a championship, my grade for Phoenix B plus. Aggressive but risky. Plum was averaging almost 24 points, 6 assists in 12 games before she got hurt, I guess. So Phoenix is getting a legitimate offensive weapon, and I love the potential pairing of Alyssa Thomas, Dewana Bonner, Kahleah Copper. That's a veteran group. But here's my problem, though. Phoenix standing is 11-19 at the time of this deal, and they're totally outside the playoff picture. They're trying to make up significant ground with only 14 games left. And Plum is a pending unrestricted free agent after this season. So Phoenix gave up a first round pick for what could potentially be a short term rental. Yeah, it's a rental. Just come here for 14 games. Hopefully they can like win it all, be on the championship, and beat probably Minnesota. Then next year, what? Is she gonna stay? Not sure. That's a gamble. Sparks. I give them a grade of A minus for the rebuild. I actually think Los Angeles made a smart business decision. If Plum wasn't expected to resign, letting her walk would have produced nothing. Instead, the Sparks get a young guard, Makani, potentially valuable 2027 first rounder, another 2028 second rounder. The 2027 first could become especially valuable if the Sparks continue rebuilding. The LA Times, I think I read that it's a potentially lottery pick. So LA basically said, "We're not winning this year. Let's get assets for the future." I respect that. And here's what gets really interesting. This is the part that really emphasize. Okay, Phoenix wasn't just adding another scorer though. Kelsey Plum, they're adding another elite guard who can pressure on defenses. That makes the Western Conference more dangerous and potentially creates a very interesting postseason matchup with the teams who are from top five teams. Okay, but I would not say this trade makes Phoenix better than any other teams. Kind of hard, We'll see. There are 14 games. Once I see like 5 games in a row, 6 games in a row, that's the time that we can say, "Ooh, okay, this is a good trade." Okay, my deeper take though: Phoenix is betting on winning now, while LA is betting on uh, the future. And like I said, the two teams are operating on a completely different timelines. Where Phoenix are trying to win right now, with this new lineup. It's the most important part. Plum isn't just a name though. With her stats, okay, five-time All-Star and all those 24, 25 points per game. Man, the Sparks themselves noted that Plum was second in the league in scoring and 16 assists when she was traded. Okay, so that's a major offense upgrade for Phoenix. This is what I find fascinating though. Phoenix wasn't a plum away from being a championship team. They were they are 11-19 and chasing the playoff field. So Phoenix essentially saying we believe Kelsey Plum can pave the way for us for that playoff picture and possibly a championship round. But I'm not sure. That's a big bet. Okay. Okay. Fit with Alyssa Thomas, it's gonna be a wild one for the other teams. Alyssa Thomas, the primary creator, Kelsey Plum, shooter, secondary creator. They want to Bonner, if she's gonna continue, they want Bonner's doing a good job, as of this moment. I think back-to-back games she's doing good, right? So and Kahleah Copper, athletic scorer. Opposing defenses have to make a choice. Help on Thomas, Plum can punish you. Chase Plum over screens, Thomas can attack you. Collapse on Copper, kick it out. That's why I think Plum's value could actually be greater in Phoenix than her raw numbers suggest. She doesn't necessarily have to carry the entire offense, just like what she's doing at LA Sparks. They highly depend on her in the Sparks. But this one, when in Phoenix, she got scorers over there, so she doesn't necessarily have to like work hard. Here's the big problem though. Here's what I see. Phoenix gave up a 2027 first round pick. And that's a significant because Plum is a pending unrestricted free agent after this season. Is she going to stay? So Phoenix is taking a risk. Phoenix, let's say, makes the playoffs. Plum fits. Phoenix makes a serious postseason run. Plum loves the situation and resigns. That's a good one, right? Phoenix looks brilliant. But here's a second scenario, though. Phoenix misses the playoffs. Phoenix gave away their first round pick for a player who didn't get them into the postseason. That's a tough pill to swallow. So are they going to resign? Is Kelsey Plum going to resign? I don't know. And there's a third scenario, though. Phoenix makes the playoffs, but Plum leaves. What then? Hard, right? That would make this trade look much worse. Phoenix essentially trade away a future first round asset for a few months of Kelsey Plum. That's why I can't give Phoenix an A. I gave them a B plus right now. Now let's talk about Sparks. This is where I think people are overlooking what LA accomplished. The Sparks were already moving toward a rebuild. That's what I see whenever I see them play. And Plum's future in LA apparently wasn't secure. So rather than potentially losing her without getting meaningful compensation, the Sparks turned her into McConney, 2027 first, 2028 second. That's smart asset management. McConney is particularly interesting. She's averaging roughly 10 points per game and shooting, I think 40% points per game. I'm not sure, but I need to look her up look her stats up according to maybe ESPN or something. Now LA gets another young piece to develop while adding a first round pick. So what do you think? Maybe Juju will go over there since she's playing for there at the South LA. So I'm not sure. Maybe not because they got the best player. I mean, Phoenix. They obviously will be in the championship, right? You know, Phoenix will be dangerous. I'm sure of that. Very dangerous when they click. Um, with 14 games left, with a very minimal amount of practice together, but these guys are professional players, so I'm sure they'll be, with a small amount of time, they'll be able to adjust and play together and click in order to accomplish what they need to accomplish to be in the playoff, to be in the championship round. Uh, so I think Phoenix will try their best with this move um, to be a very dangerous team. That's what I think. That's my opinion. But Minnesota, Indiana, New York Liberty, Atlanta, man, those guys. And Chicago. I mean, Chicago is getting better and better. So I'm not sure about this trade. We'll see. Let's see. 4 or 5 games. If they start winning, like what I said, I guess it's going to be a good trade. But then again, what about the future?